Hello, hello. Welcome back to Rouhani Talks, and I am joined with Don Gino Chaka-Runa. And if you missed the last video, we talked about what or who is a shaman. And in this video, we're going to talk about what is or who is a neo shaman. That's a very popular term right now in this society. So we're going to welcome Don Gino and just get into that question.
Hello, Faisal. Thank you for the invitation. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. Well, Neo Shaman. Neo is new, and Shaman, we already went there. So, well, I think there will always be new shamans in each community. I don't know about Neo. Neo probably is connected to a different approach. And I kind of know what is that approach. I think everything evolves, everything changes, but in this work, not necessarily. I think the core of the knowledge and of the work should stay the same. The before, the after can change a little bit because times change, the diseases change, the troubles in the mind change, of course. So the neo shaman, what I have seen is people coming to the Amazon to do a dieta. And well, I will start like this. I have a friend that is a psychiatrist, and he was working with ayahuasca State University, studying, trying to find out what this medicine do in your brain. That was like 20, 30 years ago. And he is always interviewed in the medical community about these medicines. And he was asked, first of all, do you think this medicine is for everybody? And he said, not really. You have to be very careful on people with heart diseases, for instance, and in the mind especially. This is not good for people that have hard mental diseases like schizophrenia, psychotics. It's not good. You can try. You can bring people to the medicine with PTSD, with stress, with heart depression, even with bipolarity sometimes. Because he explained that the psychotic, the schizophrenic, the paranoid, their access is their ego, is themselves. They're always inside themselves, which most of the people don't do, but they do it in an extreme way. They isolate, they're always in the room. So one of the features of these medicines is that once you are in the journey, they break down your ego. And being that the access of these mental diseases, that person will crumble like a house of cards, and it's very hard to put him back together. But he also explained his view and what he saw that this medicine does in people. And he said, I have seen three things that happens. One, which I totally agree, is that people come for whatever reason. They get in the journey, experience. Nothing happens, nothing changes. They go back in their life. Okay, I know this medicine. Yeah, nice. The others really, really get a total transformation of their lives with a big healing. And the third segment is that superinflation of the ego, which is very common. And those are the ones that I have seen in ceremony, and after ceremony, they go, yes, the plant told me I'm the shaman now. Very extreme cases. I was once in Holland. I did a 3-day retreat. I only went with 3 days retreats. Okay, so there was this young man, and then I went to other countries. But after 3 weeks, I came back to Holland. And there, I got to know that this young man, after 3 days retreat, already was serving medicine in Holland to other people. So that really shocked me because this work takes a long time. Even when you know everything, then you get to know you know nothing. And it's the best way to learn is in dietas. The neo shaman that I see now comes to Peru, does a dieta, becomes a shaman, goes back home, starts getting medicine either from Peru or I don't know in the internet, and they start serving without the background, without the knowledge, without being the rock in the ceremony. If there is no rock in the ceremony, everything can crumble because the first condition for people to surrender, first of all, the only way to do this work is to surrender. And the condition to surrender is having the will. They have the will because the people are in the ceremony room and the trust. And this will happen only if they feel safe. And they will feel safe if they can feel there is a rock in the shaman and they are well taken care. And then they let go of everything. Otherwise, the ceremony is really troubled and hard. So what I see, this is happening, as I said, you pick up a stone and there's 4 or 5 shamans. Now you go in the communities, the young mestizo shipibo, I would say, because there is the native in the Amazon and in the Andes, that they don't even speak Spanish, even less English. And those are really the core knowledge. In the Andes, they speak Quechua. In the Amazon, Shipibo, Achaninka, Machienga, you name it. Then you have the native mestizo, which is upgraded, still speaks Quechua with Spanish, a little English, or Shipibo in Spanish and also English, because they have to communicate with the foreigners that come to do the medicine. And then you have the mestizo, which is, that is my lineage in between. I come from the Andes, Inca, and mestizo in the Amazon. And it's kind of the middleman, because the mestizo has native blood, native knowledge, but also Western lineage or blood. So kind of knows the two worlds. And I think that is the best bridge. Neo Shaman is now mixing a lot of knowledge, making an eclecticism, trying to change the core. And as I explained in this work, is so delicate. It's more fine than the fine surgery, because it's your body, your emotions, your mind, and your spirit that you put in somebody else's hands. Who is this man? Who are you putting yourself at? And then they bring, I don't know, there are, I would say, one time I saw in a conference in the board, they would put, okay, let's talk about sitters, guides, uh, healers, shaman, and so on and so on. The list was, so they put all on the same level. And it's not like that, because who is a sitter? Somebody that brings you the medicine and stays there, looks at you, but you don't hit yourself against the walls, maybe. A guy, maybe he puts a playlist and guides you how? Maybe to the toilet. I don't see anything else that he can guide you if there is no knowledge. I'm not making fun. I'm just saying what I see. And then you have the neo shaman that mixes everything, brings his for ayahuasca, the music from the India and Tibetan bowls and this and that, and this a whole mixture. And then the ceremony is kind of not clear. It's not clear, because now we know that plants can hear. The plants have a conscience. The plant can see. And I'm going to put it this way. And then the other one is the musician shaman, because I see a lot of musicians that they drink one dieta and then they become the shamans and they do a different ceremony full of music the whole 4 or 5 hours, which is nice. I'm not talking bad about this. I'm just saying, let's say, if acupuncture has been there for thousands of years, nobody has changed it. You cannot change the core. Maybe you change a little bit before or after, I don't know, but the core is the same because those are known spots. Same is here. The core should stay there. And why I will explain that ayahuasca works with Icaros. Probably it works also with a playlist, but it's totally a different process. Totally a different process. I have seen this many times, and people say, "Wow, it was so beautiful," and I go to my heart, into my light, into my bliss, and that is okay. It's a shortcut. But I believe that person that went at bliss, it will not last. After 2, 3 weeks, she will go down because what she is carrying is still inside, and then he will come back again to go again at bliss. These plans, if you see a ceremony, and I have seen, let's say somebody singing in English, I don't know, or a playlist, and a ceremony in with Shipibo or Quechua Icaros is totally different. It's totally different because these plants, let's say, why does a plant show you the Amazon? You can see the owl, the river, the forest, the otorongo, the eagle, because they have seen it. You cannot show something you have not seen. How can you show this? And this is transferred as we transfer our knowledge to our children in every single cell. Everything you have done before conception to your children, you will trespass. Possibility of addiction, alcoholism, low emotions, very high emotions, optimism, whatever. And that will create a trend. Not necessarily you will go there. The same way the plants transmit the knowledge. The plant knows that her power and what is she meant to hear. If the plant would have grown or be original from Alaska, I'm sure you will see polar bears and snow peaks because that is what she will see. What does the plant hear in the Amazon? The natives walking up and down, speaking what? Shipibo and Quechua. That is why the plant hears this vibration, the space trembles. Totally different than working with other instruments or music. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's different work. Everybody has his own approach.
I remember I was in Peru once with my master, and I asked him the same thing. I was like, "What do you think people doing ceremonies in Europe or America or Canada? What do you think about it?" And he said that I'm not against it, but tradition and respect has to be followed. Like you can kind of modify a little bit because not every one from Europe or America become a shaman, because shaman, like you said, it's a tradition. It comes down from the generations. We have to learn
Yeah,
for decades.
yeah,
But if somebody wants to become a shaman from the first world countries, they have to have followed the tradition at least like 50-60%. They should know what the medicine is, what the icaros are, and then they can modify a little bit. They can, add their own music or whatever, but they need to know the plant and feed the plant the actual icaros from the Amazon too, like you said, because plants know that language and they need to hear that to show us the visions. So I believe there is a space and place for neo shaman, but as you beautifully explained, tradition is the main thing. Like they have to be connected with the tradition. They have to learn. They cannot just do 2 or 3 ceremonies and then
no,
start serving other people. And I also believe that nowadays people coming from first world countries, like say Europe or Americas, they have a lot of different problems. The problems a traditional shaman sitting in Amazon probably won't understand 100%
Mm.
because that shaman has not gone through or has not seen those problems. Let's say divorce issues, PTSD, depression, things like that, autism, and all the other problems we have here in first world countries. That shaman has not seen that in
Yeah.
his or her community. So there is a space and a place, but again, it goes back to following the tradition, respecting the plants, and not abusing. I think the biggest thing is people start abusing it for money or for power, the shamanism we're talking about. So there is, again, there is a space, and in next video, we're going to talk about
Mm.
how to find a shaman who you can feel safe with and do a ceremony properly and in a traditional way. How do we find that in because everybody does not have the option to go fly to Amazon and stay there. There has to be an opportunity available in the rest of the world too, where shamans from Amazon, they can bring that knowledge here. So the question is, how do we find the proper or trustworthy shaman where we can feel safe? So we're going to talk about that, Gino. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
And listeners or viewers, if you have not watched our other videos, we in last video we talked about who is a shaman and what is a shaman. Go back, there are links. You can watch those videos. There are some other videos about the plant medicine. So check those out. And again, thank you very much for watching us. And thank you, Gino, for coming on
Thank
this
you.
video talk. Thank you very much. See you next time.
Iraqi. See you.